Want to see some math?
No! God, please, no!
Well, I'm going to show you anyway. You plus $10,000 plus 10 years ago plus the S&P 500 equals $32,224.68, putting you ahead of 87% of all other investors.
Boom. Roasted.
Now, for most people, being in the top 13% might be all you need to live a happy life, but then there are some of us that want to see if we can do better, and that's where I come in with these lists. Today's list features sustainable payout ratios, rapidly rising dividend growth rates, and stocks that more than double the returns seen by the S&P 500 over the long haul.
Interesting.
Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. My name is Troy, and congratulations, you just found the only weekly stock list you're ever going to need as a dividend investor. This series comes out right here on the channel every Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, and if you want to be well on your way to becoming a trillionaire, the cost of admission is one like on this video and making sure you're subscribed. Now, let's go ahead and kick this week's list off with number 5, Hamilton Lane, stock ticker HLNE. This is now the second time I've mentioned Hamilton Lane here on the channel, and if you go back to the very first time I mentioned it on June 7th of 2024, HLNE is outperforming the S&P 500, so let's go ahead and get a look at the numbers behind this stock. Hamilton Lane is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $1.96 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.34%. Hamilton Lane has been paying and growing their dividend over the past 7 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 12.34%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 14.87%, and a payout ratio of 35.31%. Now, at the time of recording, Hamilton Lane was trading 5.67% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of September 16th with a payout date of October 4th. And looking at this chart, you're going to be able to see the growth of a $10,000 investment while only reinvesting your dividends into this stock versus the S&P 500. This stock only has 7.52 years worth of history, but the returns on it are kind of crazy, bringing back $93,587.41, aka it's outperformed the S&P 500 by $68,011.06. Coming in at number 4 on this week's list is Plute Group, stock ticker PHM. This is also the second time I've mentioned this stock on this list, and if you go back to the first time I mentioned it on June 14th of 2024, PHM is also outperforming the S&P 500, so let's go ahead and get a refreshed update on the numbers behind this stock. PHM is a quarterly payer in the consumer discretionary sector, paying 80 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of just 0.61%. PHM has been paying and growing this dividend over the past 7 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 12.07%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 12.6%, and a payout ratio of just 5.8%. Now, at the time of recording, Plute Group was trading just 4.59% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of September 17th with a payout date of October 2nd, and looking at this chart, this is over a 10-year period. PHM would have turned $10,000 while reinvesting your dividends into $80,146.83, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $47,922.15. Coming in with the bronze medal this week at number 3 is Ares Management, stock ticker ARES. This is now the third time I mentioned this stock right here on the channel, and if you go back to the very first time I mentioned this stock on March 8th, it is actually underperforming the S&P 500, but I wanted to show you the numbers behind this stock and why I still really like it long term. Ares Management is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $3.72 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 2.71%. Ares Management has been paying and growing their dividend over the past 5 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 25.02%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 23.16%, and a payout ratio of 64.01%. Now, at the time of recording, Ares Management was trading 11.62% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of September 16th with a payout date of September 30th, and a $10,000 investment into this one 10 years ago would have brought back $118,879.69, outperforming the S&P 500 by $86,655.01, and this stock is only number 3 on this week's list.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So if you want to see the rest of this amazing list, make sure you guys leave a like on this video if you haven't already, and then use the comment section down below to let me know if you guys own any of the stocks mentioned in today's video and how they're doing for you. And if you don't own any of them, which stocks from today's video piqued your interest. But now let's get to the rest of the list. Coming in at number 2 on this week's list is Lam Research, stock ticker LRCX. This is now the 8th time I've actually mentioned this stock here on the channel, and if you go all the way back to the very first time I mentioned it on September 9th of 2022, LRCX is outperforming the S&P 500, so let's go ahead and see the numbers behind this great stock. LRCX is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $9.20 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.25%. LRCX has been paying and growing their dividend over the past 10 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 15.45%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 12.71%, and a payout ratio of 25.74%. Now, at the time of recording, Lam Research was trading 35.06% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of September 17th with a payout date of October 1st. And despite that crazy drop off of its 52-week high, the returns on this one are still insane. A $10,000 investment only 10 years ago while reinvesting your dividends still would have brought back $117,678.24, outperforming the S&P 500 by $85,453.56. But Troy, the returns from those last two stocks were insane. There's something better than that? Allow me to explain. Coming in at number 1 on this week's list is Broadcom, stock ticker AVGO. This is now a record-tying 9th time I've mentioned this stock here on the channel, and if you go all the way back to the very first time this stock was brought up here on the channel, back on June 17th of 2022, AVGO is crushing the S&P 500, so let's go ahead and get a look at the numbers behind this monster. AVGO is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $2.12 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.55%. AVGO has been paying and growing their dividend over the past 15 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 13.15%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 15.98%, and a payout ratio of 34.43%. Now, at the time of recording, Broadcom was trading 26.01% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of September 19th with a payout date of September 30th, and despite being down 26% for this one, the returns are still even crazier. Broadcom would have turned $10,000 while only reinvesting dividends into $204,081.87, outperforming the S&P 500 by a barely noticeable $171,857.19. How's that for a top 3?
Make you want to slap your mama.
With that being said, if you made it here to the end of the video, but you're watching this video on or after September 16th, it would be in your best interest to make sure you're subscribed.
And why is that?
Well, that's because some of the ex-dividend dates I mentioned in today's video might have already passed, which means you just missed the next dividend. Now, while that's not the end of the world, all these stocks are quarterly payers, which means you need to wait 3 long months for your next payout, and we all know
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Before you go, don't forget to comment down below and let me know if you own any of these stocks and how they're doing for you. And if you don't own any of them, which ones piqued your interest the most. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, make sure you check out this video right here. But until next time, see you.